If I have said a few years ago that consensual sex age limit in South Africa is going to be reduced from 16 to 12, who would have believed me? If I have said in 2012 that consensual sex in South Africa will be reduced from 16 years to 12 years in 2012, who would have believed me? If I have said in 2012 that primary school children will be allowed by law in South Africa to engage in sexual activities, who would have believed me? Why are people so ignorant? Why are people ignore things that are even right in front of their eyes? Why do people prefer to put their heads on the sand, in the sand, and bury themselves in order to ignore reality? I've said many times that job creation strategy in South Africa is not to give people service, which must be provided by the people, by the unemployed who will become employed. Job creation strategy in South Africa is not about restoring dignity to the people of South Africa by giving them service like sanitation. Job creation strategy in South Africa is to ship all the children, the AIDS offense to China. Job creation strategy in South Africa is to ship AIDS offense to Japan to replace the aging slave labor in China and Japan. But still, nobody believes me. Just like you would not have believed if I have told you in 2012 that consensual sex age limit in South Africa is going to be 12 years, because you prefer to be safe and comfortable behind your ignorance. Why can't people stand up and be the masters of their destiny? Why do you have to depend on another human being for decisions about your life and your future? Why can't we think for ourselves and reason? Because now I'm telling you again that another strategy of government of South Africa to fight unemployment, another strategy on top of shipping children to China and Japan, is to deny all female citizens the identity documents, is to reclaim all the identity documents from the female citizens. All the documents, all identity documents who are issued to females will be declared null and void. They will never have any legal stature. Female people in South Africa are going to be declared non-persons. Female people will not be able to vote. Female people will not be able to drive, because without an ID document you cannot have a driver's license. That would reduce the number of workers. It will increase vacancies, and it will be the space where the male members of the society will be able to be squeezed into those positions which will be abandoned by women. Because as non-persons, women will not be allowed to drive, they will not be allowed to vote, and women will not be allowed even to travel by themselves. Women will only be seen as sex toys, as is happening today with the president who get married every day, as we see today with the politicians who have sex with children every day. as is seen with the kings who are getting married every year because they see women as sex toys. During the reed dances, what the king is doing is to choose the best sex toy he can please himself with. And this practice will be extended even to all the female persons across racial lines. White girls will be forced to attend residences to be used also as sex toys. They will lose their identity documents. They will not be able to drive. They will not be able to work. The only job for women will be to make babies who will be shipped to China, because China is a country of billions that needs billions of substitutes for their slave laborers. Yet South Africa is only about 50 million strong population, which means even if we will double or the birth rate can be tenfold in this country, it will never make a dent in the slave labor shortage in China and Japan. That is why the government has decided that no woman must be wasting time of giving birth in studies. No woman must be wasting time of giving birth in doing any other work or driving around. Women must sit at home like the queen, the queen termite, whose job is to lay eggs to populate the ant hill or the termite hill or the termite mound. Therefore, but I know you are so ignorant, you will never take me serious. You did not take me serious when I told you that your children will be shipped to China in exchange for money for the politicians and political parties. You will never have trusted me or believed me when I told you that the consensual sex age limit in South Africa will be reduced to 12 years old. You prefer to stay in your ignorance. You feel safe behind your veil of ignorance, to pretend as if nothing is happening around you, to put your head in the sand and prefer there is no world. The world does not exist, but the world exists. The world goes forward. Today, primary school children are allowed by law to make babies. They are allowed by law without considering the fact that there is HIV epidemic in South Africa. They are encouraged by the government to engage in unprotected sex to make as many babies as they can, who will be shipped to China and Japan. And now, you will only believe me, when the government will make a promulgation that all female identity documents are null and void, all licenses are null and void, and no female worker or female person will be allowed to work in South Africa. The only job for female people will be to make babies who will be shipped to China. The government of South Africa is engaged in a breeding program to supply slave laborers to China and Japan. But you will never believe me. It is as if I'm saying nothing when I tell you that all female people will be non-persons, only fit to make babies. They are just like toys in our politicians' eyes. The kings get married every year with girls parading in front of him like fake toys that they are seen as. Therefore, I'm urging you to keep your calm. I'm urging you to pretend to be safe in your false veil of ignorance. I'm urging you to keep your head in the sand and pretend the world does not exist.